And the hits keep coming, don't they, though? The anti-North German Society demands some kind of action. They want us to embargo them. Well, as long as we don't have to go to war, let's embargo North Germany. Woo! And that will kick off this episode here of Victoria 3 in America. So all we have to do is just click this embargo button. Boom. Now they will no longer, I think, yeah, we embargo our goods on them. We could still import their stuff, I think. I don't know. We'll confirm it, and now we get the lobby demand. They're happy about it. The approval went up by 2 points, and that makes all the members of the anti-North German Society, which include the intelligentsia, industrialists, labor unions, woodsmen, yeoman farmers. We got some big guys there that are all very happy with what we've just done there. So, okay, well played, well played. Meanwhile, the American British Association, they're at 0 because we have such great relations with them. Genial, friendly, defensive pact, trade agreement, investment agreement. We can't do much else. We could take on their debt. 22.9 million. Yeah, that ain't happening. And, we can invite a country to our power block. Iraq. If we give them an obligation, they have a 9% chance. I'm not in a rush. Let's keep building our tooling factories here. But do notice that Mexico is now improving pretty good each week. We might get Iraq, I don't know, but Mexico, yeah, we're working on them. I am building out the railroads right now, and I am watching this weekly number just drop. It's not only because we've got our tax waste really brought down, but we're definitely at a point where we have increased profitability from building out these railroads. Do yourselves a favor, everybody. Build railroads where you can. As long as they're profitable, they'll do you well. Brazil wants to grant me foreign investment rights, but I'm looking here, and I go in, and I could already do that. I could already build out there. This is something where it's prompting me to do something, but I don't need that formally because I've already got the, here it is, Foreign Investment 3, where foreign investment rights and power block member with lower rank. I don't need this here. Yes, it'll generate more leverage, but I'm already generating loads of leverage. And speaking of loads of leverage, Mexico is just about to go cordial, and that might change their attitude about a potential trade agreement, maybe? Let's see what happens when that hits cordial there. There we are. All right. Close those out there. Yes, they'll do it with an obligation added. We're not yet at the point where we could send it over there. It's like right now it would be minus 18 put in there, and it goes to plus 11. So yeah, they're right there on the thing. Give it some time. When we have a better relationship with them, it'll work out more. And the fact that we have now gotten from like minus 100 something to minus 1, and we're building more railroads, this might be the right time to start bankrolling them. It's still about the same amount of money, and let's go ahead and fund those lobbies, and we'll let our profits from the railroad get us to where we bring Mexico into our little trade group here. That'll be nice. Yes, it will. Just a few weeks, that's all it took, and now they're ready for that trade agreement. And I mean, even though we went down low there by just waiting a few weeks to build out more railroads, we are almost back in the green again. Let's get that trade agreement with Mexico. They're there, and we are getting closer to that investment agreement, which will be fantastic. Oh no, a tornado! Let's get them emergency funding. Tornadoes are serious business, and we're doing well there anyway. And let's give momentum to the Republican Party. Meanwhile, Let's take a look at how we're doing with our leverage here. They're now at positive 58. We're at 2.3 weekly average. That is going to be very good. Once we get them brought in, we'll be fine. Now, for this case, we might, if we get a chance to get that investment deal before they're part of our block, we can sign that and then later on terminate it if we're short of enough diplomatic points to do something else. And oh, thank you, Thomas Nast. He's going after other people there. Anyway, we'll get back when we have something going on. All right, time has been good to us here. We are now at a position where Mexico is right at that sweet spot of plus 200. And we go over here to interactions. It says invite to power block. Let's click on that. It says they have an 80% chance of accepting. Well, we were bankrolling them and got an obligation. I'll go ahead and use the obligation. Whoopee! We'll confirm. Unpause. They're in the treaty. They no longer owe us that obligation. We can stop bankrolling them and stop funding their lobbies. Ha ha ha. Because, well, we don't need to anymore. They're in the group. So that gives us 16K more per week. And we no longer have to have the trade agreement with Mexico because they're in a customs union block like we have here. And that means after taking half of Mexico, we got the rest of it in our block. Ah, so lovely there. And just in time, too, because we need some more corn. Yeah, let's, instead of doing agriculture in the USA, let's do it in Mexico. Let's buy some of their economy. Ha ha ha. Let's take a look with that. What is it seeing here? So right now, 3% of their economy is owned by other people. That would be us. And they own 0.34% of the USA. Well, we'll take care of that. We're gonna invest some stuff in there. We're building out our trains. They're doing a fantastic job there. But we do need some more grain. We need more tools. We always need more tools and other things there. So let's invest in Mexico here. Let's go to our maize farms. That's corn. Let's go with just abroad. And let's sort by earnings. And let's see what the fanciest ones in Mexico will give us. Here we go. I think Guerrero is where it starts. All right. Now, we're looking at peasant availability. Not a whole lot there. So we'll go ahead and, it takes 4,000 workers to get in there. They've only got 5,000 peasants. So let's just drop one on Guerrero, one on Zacatecas. Bajío has got lots of room there. So does Oaxaca. But Bajío has not got qualifications for all vacancies, while as Oaxaca does. Let's go ahead and build 1, 2, whoops, where'd it go? Let's go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's build 8 in Oaxaca there. Someone else got built into, I don't know who, it was shifting around while we were doing that. Let's go back to this one here. Mexico, the state itself, has only got one cornfield. This is the heartland of corn. Let's build 19 of them there. And okay, there we go. Now there will be 20 farms. And they will, wow, they're going to be, doing pretty well. Some good profits there. And with all that extra corn, about what? Let's see here. No, that's 2.39 per level, about 10, 45, about 40 or so per level. We'll have plenty of grain in the economy. And we're going to own a substantial amount of Mexican GDP. So let's watch this go here. We've got 5, 4. Remember how that was 3% ownership? They're really small numbers here. We had one building level. Let's find out what we can do with that. once those other ones build out. Okay, come on, guys, refresh. Okay, now we're at, haha, yes, let's go back and forth. And whoa, people wanting to have us invest in them. I don't need a defensive pact with Santo Domingo. If they ask to be annexed, I'll happily do that, though. All right, let's, oops, I have to highlight the edge there. We now have 11 building levels, and we own 1.6 of their GDP. We're doing well. We're doing well there. And it's going to keep getting bigger. Let's just look at that. Yeah. We're on the second round here. And this is helping the grain. Once these guys go online, they'll make more grain. They'll produce more. We'll own it. And we're creating a corn republic. Yes. Forget the banana republics. The corn republics is what we have. I have to say, building out these trains has been really good for the economy, along with other things that we demand a lot of. This is just incredible here. We're now at plus 100 a week when we were at minus 100. Maybe it's time to either, well, let's, before we start building more, maybe we should pay down our debt, get into the gold area, and then once we're doing that, maybe we could build some more capacity. Or maybe we just build a small amount. I don't know. I don't care about the Dutch East Indies, and don't worry about it, Mexico. You're already in my group. We're investing plenty in you. Speaking of which, how much of that Mexican economy do we now control? Oh, we now own 9% of their economy. The corn republic is mine. And if you notice, we're also starting to influence the Persians. I'd like to get my own slice of the great game, just because I can do it out there. We're going to back the Shah or something. Why do I want to make the evangelicals happier? They are... No, sorry. Let's have a gold rush out here. Yay! Which is actually an oil rush. Funny how the gold rush, or the oil rush event kicks off a gold rush thing. Anyway. But yes, we are building out lots of railroads. We've also been doing a very good job of colonizing the old USA here. No new states to bring. Oh wait, we do have American Oklahoma is needing an incorporation. There's somebody else out there. Oh, we're still working on Alaska. Okay, fair enough. And we could decrease autonomy of these various places. Interesting. We could also now, we've just discovered mutual funds. We can go with investment banks, which gives us another company. We could go with steel frame buildings, which will give us a lot more construction capacity. And with our budget the way it is now, that's exactly what we want to do. And that will mean building out more more glass. More glass and steel are going to be the two areas we need most for that. If you remember the last video, we were talking about building gold mines in other countries. Looks like we're back at it here. And, well, we have an investment trust here, so we're going to have more efficiency at investing. I like that. But we got to watch out here because our market confidence is dropping. Our volatility is kind of high, but we're in a boom now, but we could hit a recession pretty easily with what we have going on. And, let's go ahead and incorporate Nebraska. Ooh, ow, we lose a little bit there. We're going to have to work on that. Okay, well, let's think that through there. Oh, nope, no more colonies. Okay, well, we'll just keep the ones we got. And for some reason, Argentina is going after Mapuche. Wow, they got Chile as an ally? That's incredible. Hey, Argentina, why don't you become our protectorate. Yay! Let's go ahead and send a small force down that way. Oh, that's a navy. Mobilize our army of observation and head on down south. Because why not? Because I want to make Argentina a protectorate. They're not owned by the USA, they're just protected by the USA. Big difference there. This is about the time period that the US was expanding control and influence throughout the hemisphere. We're not yet to the point where it was actually considering annexing other countries. Certainly not what it did with Cuba. That's going to be the late 1890s. But by having these arrangements made as they come along, we're able to take advantage of that and keep these guys going just fine. Well. Oh, well, that's sad. We're gonna have to raise our Western regiment and send them out west to deal with the situation in Montana and other states too. But anyway, I don't need a defensive pact with Bolivia. I don't think we're fine. But if they ever want to be a protectorate of ours, we could certainly talk about that. Oh no, the Great Chicago Fire! Okay, I'll pause here. Either we get the terrible catastrophe, which, wow, that's 15% devastation, or they still get 15% devastation, but we pay $27,000 per week for a year. We've got the cash. We're at $136K right now. Oh, so instead of it taking 2 years to recover, it now takes them 1 year to recover. That's what we'll go with. We'll spend the cash and we'll help them out. And now the Alamatic people are moving to Kansas. Fantastic. Outstanding. And now we have oil everywhere. Yay! Oh, this is so happy. How are we doing on that? Okay, well, we got about a year to go there. We got an election started here, and I had a request from someone to say, how do we do elections in Victoria 3? How do we work all this out? Okay, well, you can see here that we've got 15.4 million voters, and in the current polls, the yellow line here, the Republican Party, is trending high, and the Democratic Party, the green line, is trending low. Underneath my head, right here where the microphone is, it shows that the previous election results were 64% for the Republican Party and 35% for the Democrat Party. Okay, how do we determine the strength of these parties? Well, we can see here that we've got different interest groups and how many people are members of them. What I really like is that we're in a very good time period here. I've got 13.6 million loyalists, hardly any radicals, just like a little bit right there. But it shows just, how many people are in there and how loyal they are overall. At the top, we also see a general size, like relative size there, about what power each group has in the nation. And we can see that the petty bourgeoisie here have got the biggest slice of the pie. But they're in there together with the intelligentsia, the industrialists, and the armed forces. They make up the Republican Party in the USA. If I look at government here, it'll show, here's who in what group there. The landowners are marginalized. I don't care for them, so we'll just ignore them. The Democrat Party is got these guys here, the independent workers and evangelicals, are a bit unhappy with things, probably because we don't have a number of the social reforms that they're looking for passed. We could hover over this and it'll show me, here's all the minuses they're getting. They don't like cultural exclusion. They don't like per capita taxation. They don't like not having a health system. The independent workers are not happy with total separation. And I bet the evangelicals are also not happy with that. Hover over them, they endorse state religion, freedom of conscience, and total separation. Okay, but I guess this guy doesn't like it there. Yes, yeah, he's a theocrat. He wants the leader of the evangelicals wants state religion, so that influences them. So you can have a group that is normally in favor of one thing, but when their leader it goes in a different direction, that takes that group in that direction. So although if this guy stops being their leader, and we get somebody who's more moderate in there, then that means we have a chance that they would support freedom of conscience and they'd be happier with the government that we have. For the independent workers, the guy's a traditionalist. He also wants state religion. Yeah, that's not happening. This is the USA. We're not having that. We're sorry. Even though I'd love to see the trade unions get to do some things and help get us more progressive and stuff, if they're in the same party as people who want state religion, it ain't happening. Over here on the Republican Party, if I hover over their Clout for the petite bourgeoisie, the petty burghers, the middle class, it's because of their political strength, their political activity. It's all laid out here, and just general popularity of their leaders. This is all gives them the clout that they have there. Military leaders also add to this. So if I promote or add more commanders from that particular group, that will increase their clout in the country. So clout is a measure not only of how many voters they have, but how active they are politically and how much or how active they are in the popular stage with people out there doing things, being leaders. That adds to their clout. So overall, just hovering over each one of these, if I wanted to get more clout for another group, well, I would want to promote or add military leaders from those particular factions. So, like if I wanted the Democrats to get elected, I'd go for a farmer, unionist, evangelical, or independent worker, and I could boost their power quite quickly by doing that. So what if I go to the Army of the Republic, click here, and I see, there's an independent worker, there's a yeoman farmer. I could put these guys in, and if I did so, it would give plus 2% intergroup political strength. So that would help them out. If I go over here to a particular commander, let's get out of that. If I was to promote this guy from brigadier general to the next level, to level 2, that goes from 2% to 3% political strength. And you can get an idea that the stronger the leader is, say we got this guy at level 3, if we promote him, he's 10% intergroup political strength. Promote him more, that's another 5%. So, yeah, if you keep promoting these leaders, they're going to, each promotion adds a chunk more of that intergroup's political strength and clout. This means you want to promote and support leaders who are politically well aligned. That's one way of looking at it. Some people may say, well, I just want leaders that are going to be very effective in combat. Oh, you're one of those guys. You plan on fighting a war. But most of the time, your generals are sitting in the barracks and they're doing political activity and having influence. You want politically reliable generals. If a war starts and we're getting trounced, then yes, I'll go after military leaders that may not be in the right party, but I could promote them and get them to command forces. But if they're in the right political party, then that's who I want to promote and keep in power. So be very careful with those. Don't, and by the same token, if you sack a political leader and drop that, you will drop the clout for that particular group pretty effectively, and do with it what you will. All right. So anyway, we have an election coming up in 137 days. I'll go back over here to the overview, unpause, and we'll just watch this little ticker here. Now, I had an event that gave 30% strength to the Democrat Party, and we could see them strengthening there. They're increasing a little bit over time, and the Republicans are weakening there. Oh, good. New Mexico's the state. Okay. Uh, if I click on this election here, or I haven't clicked it yet. I just hovered over it, but it says that the Republicans have 575% momentum, which means, yeah, Andrew Johnson's popularity is a very small ding against them, but they have lots of power from their events. And the Democrats, yeah, they have some popular guys, and they have 68% momentum. It's not going to go very well for them. Now, if I clicked on that button here, and now I have the 1872 campaign here. If I want, I can just leave that up here and see how things are going there. We just take a look at these different interest groups. We can watch them growing and shrinking. We have universal suffrage, so that means we have lots of people voting. Voter strength is there for everyone. Pardon me while I make New Mexico a state. I need to incorporate it and deal with the native uprising. Okay, Army of Observation, mobilize. Go in, there we go. And let's go back to that election. There it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. 69 days to go. We can see that although the Democrats have been gaining in popularity, the Republicans are still well out in front. That momentum of 555%, I think, is going to help them there. So in the last election, they got 65%, was it? Let's go down here. Yeah, 65 to 35. This time around, it looks like 61 to 38. So the Democrat Party is increasing in popularity, but it's not going to be enough for right now. I think it could be something where maybe in the next election cycle that we will have, it will be enough. Oh, good. Persia's improving our relations. Let's go back there. Yeah, maybe it might be where the Democrats come up with the win in the 1876 election, but I don't see it happening right away. Not in this year. We got 14 days to go. We'll do something about steel frame buildings in just a wee tiny bit. Oh, wait a minute. No, we won't. We're going to have to do something right now about the need for our infrastructure. And that was Pennsylvania that needed one. I'll give them 2, and Ohio gets 1, 2, because they're just going to have more of this happening. Yes, we had that, and we need to get our research done. I know we just discovered that the steel frame buildings, maybe having a more efficient way of making steel will be something we will want. And right now, here we go. We've got something where we will give more momentum to the Republican Party, which is already at 535%. Can we get a view of that? Can we get go back over here, move this, get that window? Okay, yeah, they're doing all right there. Do I want to make their leader ambitious? I don't think so. Let's give them some more momentum. And now we see them ticking up and the Democrats ticking down. It's going to be a 60-40 split. Ooh, no, it dropped. Whoa. And now the last result there, 58-41. Something happened in October. An October surprise. But that's how it was done. What do I want to do to increase or decrease the size of a political group? Well, again, it's about clout. Having more of that group in the economy is going to be there. If we look at our petite bourgeoisie here, let's take a look at the population. And it looks like it's sorted pretty much by size of population. it's not entirely because we got 10 after 2, but at any rate. And here's 90K machinists, but I see 268K shopkeepers, 117K engineers, 213K clerks, laborers. These are people where they this is the backbone. So if we have more of those people, they will be attracted to the middle class party. And you can see where the strength is. It's New York and Pennsylvania. Of course, I think that's probably where the party's going to have the biggest strength overall. Let's take a look at our farmers. They're in a different political group. A lot of them here in Texas. We also see them here in Pennsylvania. Obviously, their biggest group are farmers. So if I make more farming, that'll happen. How about trade unions? Wow, 1 million laborers in Pennsylvania. I think it's because we have the largest populations here. That's probably why we're also going to see the largest. Yeah, here we go. 4 million, 4 million, 3 million. Oh, okay, so Texas is going to grow there. We're getting some good pops there. Let's clear that mode. Go back to independent workers. Again, we've got laborers here, and we expand it. We can see here's where they're working in different places. But adding more of those people will mean more distribution in those different groups there. So if I wanted to get the Democrats elected, well, if we take a look at them, what's their strongest group there? It's the independent workers. Now, if I started passing laws that would strengthen the clergy, they'd be happy and they would gain in popularity. But if we get more independent workers, click on that. Here's our population. Here's what laws they like to have and so forth. If I got more of them, and definitely more laborers, so get more miners out there. If I just expand my mining industry as much as I can, I'm going to build out that particular interest group, and we should see more of them, and that would give more strength to that party. And then in the next election, it'll also benefit them. Now, other things that'll happen is just over time, we see events pop up that'll give momentum to this group or more popularity to that group, and that increases their rate of attraction. Because just because I have a laborer doesn't mean he's going to be in the trade unions or the independent labor union. He could go anywhere. But depending on how attractive the party leadership is and events that contribute to the party growth, that's going to determine in some degree where this laborer, where this worker will go, or where this farmer will go, or this bureaucrat will go in terms of political loyalty. And then when we have this mass movement here and there, that's where we get our mass political parties. Something that'll happen is we do have the specter haunting the world, but we have no increase in socialism. So once this happens, we're going to just basically see labor movements kind of fall flat in the USA. We're not going to see radicalism there. And that's going to impact our party political structure going forward. Ideologies will also have an impact. So if we have laws that people like, that are already there, they are attracted to the party that keeps them there. If people are looking for a different kind of law, they'll be attracted to that party that promotes the change. And then eventually that party gets elected. We have changes and all that happens. It'll go through that way. But for now, we do have the Republican Party in power. When I click on, we see that we're at legitimate government, we're at 80. If I click on reform government, I can knock it down to 27 or 16. 27 if I put the Democrats in charge, they'll never get anything passed. 16 if I put both parties in charge. No, exit reform government. We're going to keep 80. Why do we have this legitimacy of 80? Because you saw that we didn't have 80% of the people vote this way. Well, it's because we have a lot of loyalists, a high degree of loyalists here. We have some modifiers, lobbyists in check, we have unresponsive government, okay. The head of the state is in the government. We are a presidential form, so that gives us a plus 30 boost. And we have total clout is 26. Percentage of votes in government, 58% of the people voted, so that helps out there. If we had 68% more, that would give a higher level of legitimate government. If we had 90% of the people vote, we would have so much legitimacy we could max out on the taxes and no one would care because we'd still be over 100%. But, well, we're not there. Anyway, we do have some ideological incompatibility. Some people don't like what we're doing. Economic system. There are people who want to go to corporatism. Wow, I don't really want to do that. And then size of government. Well, we've got all these parties that are in there. If we had fewer, if the Republican Party had one or two less of these groups here, that would boost us on our legitimacy. But as it stands, 80 is excellent. I'll take it. Anything over 50, I'll take. And look at our loyalist and radical number there. The green line right up there is huge. And we have almost zero radicals. This is a good time to be American. Hey! Well, if you're a white, male, Protestant, rather wealthy, yes, a great time to be an American. 1872. Yeah! If you're female, sorry, you can't vote yet. In fact, if I take a look at the laws right now, love to get to protected speech, but no. There's some people who want to censor things. Ironically, it's half the Democratic Party and half the Republican Party want to do that. I don't want to censor. That would be wrong. We could go to poor laws. Now, this would mean a higher demand for our bureaucracy. But if you look at the groups that favor it, industrialists, independent workers, trade unions, and even landowners, okay. But it's those industrialists, independent workers, and trade unions. Those are the ones that are the largest groups. Two of them are Democrat, one of them is Republican. We could get some really good lift from there, and that'll help our government legitimacy, and will help the popularity of the parties that are backing it. So that's something to consider. We could go with clicking through the laws and asking, do I want to go with that? Do I not want that? How do I feel? And picking and choosing. That'll help you out in determining your overall electoral power. So, yeah. There you go. I've talked about it. I hope this helps you if you're trying to get an election done. And if not, well, at least I hope you enjoyed it. And you worked with this mechanic here. And that all your diplomatic plays go the way you want. We'll see you later.